never rains but it pours, eh?
Intruders mine.
Chilled to my bones.
Falling in anger. Falling in anger.
Going nowhere slowly!
Wait for me!
Wait for me!
I'm headed for a fall.
strange sort of pain. There must be a way to disarm it.
Intruders mind. Intruders mind. Intruders mind. Intruders mind. Intruders mind.
I invoke the fervor of flame! Spirits of eternal flame to my aid! You are but kindling for my triumphant blaze!
Intruders mind. Intruders mind. Intruders mind. intruders mine.
You are but kindling for my triumphant blaze!
It's so cold here!
Sister, we are free! And who is this? Can it be that a frail mortal human faced and bested our own scheming Boreas? Ah, but this is no mortal, I see. Strange you'd take the guise of a source hunter. But I shall, of course, honor your chosen form. Indeed, I suppose I should have expected that one of your kind would snare our brother sooner or later. Boreas always did dance uncomfortably close to the dark arts. But I suppose the others of we elemental monarchs thought it better not to interfere in the affairs of his realm. Fools, we waited for his pride, his hunger for more and ever more power, to pull us from our own seats of safety and into his sordid storm. We, and with us all the subjects of the realm of Fairy, do owe you our lives, Source Hunter. If, no, not if, but when, we might be of assistance to you in this dimension, you must call upon me personally. I am King Sewer of the Summit Kingdom of Calvia, brother, alongside the other elemental monarchs, to the unfortunate and insane Boreas. In earlier days, we ruled the four realms of Fairy in relative peace, each of us the master of our own kingdom. But something changed in Boreas. He grew darker somehow, more than was typical of his usual melancholy. We but chose not to intervene. Boreas was the lord of Hyberheim, and it was his right to rule it as he pleased. When our brother called the elemental seats to convene in Hyberheim, we were ecstatic. Boreas seemed again interested in the joint rule of Faerie, in upholding the long-established diplomacy of our lands. When we arrived, however, it was not Boreas who greeted us, but a dark figure. A woman with a stare like blackest fire. In her scarf she held a demonic power, the likes of which I've never felt. And as we were sucked into its depths, we thought we'd never see the light of Faerie again. A white witch. Yes. From within our stifling prison, I did indeed hear mention of that name. It seems Boreas was tasked by a power he seemed nearly to fear. To guard the witch at all costs. If she were an important charge, he would have most certainly kept her in his innermost prison chambers. I listened closely when I could to Boreas' doings. From what I could tell, it seems this woman had little contact with our deranged brother after the initial exchange of the staff. From what I could tell, the arrangement was thus. She gave him us, contained. And in return, he gave her access to his great star stone, and scores of imps he'd invited to Hyberheim. After that, the two parted, and I heard little more of the woman. In his fits of madness, Boreas would sometimes bellow abuse about the demon woman. I can only assume he meant the same who trapped us.
A little legroom out front, a little wiggle room in the back. Wonderful to greet the wide open world again. Can you imagine a worse fate than being locked up with your blazing hot head of a brother and wailing windbag of a sister for the rest of time? I thank you from my bedrock for sparing me such a fate. Well, are these chiseled good looks not legendary by now? I'm King Lurian of the Autumn Realms of Lapatera, and I suppose you've made the acquaintance of Master Molten and Lady Cyclone by now. Our wee motley crew sprang from the same source as a question for the eternal season, but I do suppose we made a fairly good run of it anyway. Poor old Boreas. He always did get the short end of the stick with his winter wasteland, while the rest of us enjoyed the plenty of the fairer seasons. Nevertheless, I never thought he had grown mad enough to resort to such devilry. Well, we elemental monarchs owe you a great debt, Source Hunter. If you ever journey to the Autumn Kingdom, you'll stay as my personal guest. Your goblet will overflow with harvest mead, and the Queen will faint when she hears how you overcame the Winter King.
It's a good thing you arrived when you did, Source Hunter. Another moment or so and the devastating cyclone within me would have burst. Imagine if you'd made it all the way here, only to find we three free, and Boreas trundling in an eternal whirlwind. It reminds me of my days training in the Air Academy. It was lonely at the top of the class, but I refused then, as I do now, to downplay my tremendous abilities. Yes, I do believe it all started when we were all of us rugrats, fresh emerged from the eternal season. Oh, yes, of course. I am Queen Sinister, ruler of the spring realm of Vanivia. Ah, Vanivia, fairest of fairy, the seat of gentle zephyrs and sprouted seedlings. And I, its eternal queen, do rule with such a fair and gentle hand that my will spreads, impossible to distinguish from that of spring itself. I suppose some small thanks are in order, yes. Yes, I suppose I do thank you for your interference in this affair. I am released and ready to return to Vanivia a moment or two sooner than I would have been by my own hand, and every tick of the clock counts, I do suppose.
Champion has returned. Have you yet, Source Hunter? It would be my sincerest honor. Take this rune and use it to summon me when you're near the witch once more. If she can be extracted from Boreas ice, I'll find a way to make it so.
Well, that's settled that, isn't it? We best be on our way then. The spring and autumn kingdoms won't rule themselves, you know. May our paths cross soon, Source Hunter.
Ah, our champion has returned. Have you yet determined how I might repay my debt? It would be a...
Not even
There
a
she is,
crack.
the White Witch, a prisoner in ice.
I wonder what sorcery, or worse, sorcery, we'll have to use to get her out.
I don't know how
There
long
she
she'll
is,
last within that
the
ice.
White Witch,
There
a
must be a
prisoner
way.
in ice.
I wonder what sorcery, or worse, sorcery, we'll have to use to get her out.
But I am in your debt, and I would be remiss not to honor your request. Shield your eyes, Source Hunter. To melt ice of this refinement, I'll need to summon an equally rare flame.
Goddess, it's colder than a witch's teat. How very callous of Leandra to inter her only sister in a barren tundra for eternity.
Ikara, you're all right? The ice, King Boreas, and your sister. What a frigid hell you've endured.
And yet not even a frigid hell like this could induce you to put on a shirt, could it, Ahu? My old friend, surely I have you to thank for my salvation.
That honor goes to a pair of talented source hunters, actually. If not for their efforts, I'd be quite uselessly prowling around your prison still.
Then perhaps I ought to address my savior directly. Source Hunter, is that the masquerade? Well, what a motley crew we are. Isn't there somewhere a bit warmer we might discuss matters? Ah, yes, of course, of course. Do pardon me. I didn't mean to imply you were very clearly eternal beings in the guise of minor mortals. Not at all. Please, let's do carry on. Oh, yes, I suppose I am. But I do prefer my given name. Ikara, that is. Charmed. But I hope I haven't disappointed my own hero. Am I just as white and witchy as you'd hoped? First things first, Source Hunter. For my freedom, I owe you every imaginable thanks. My soul had withered in this prison, and I might not have survived much longer without your help. Now, about the culprits. My corrupted sister and the mad Winter King. When I realized exactly where, and to whom Leandra was consigning me, I was certain I'd never enjoy the sun's warmth again. But neither she nor I anticipated the Source Hunter. That was her mistake, and my blessing. I never would have imagined Leandra capable of dealing with the likes of Boreas, but she has changed into someone I hardly recognize anymore. My own little sister, if you can imagine it. She was always the more ambitious, the more exacting of us, and she had no fear of the darkness that so often accompanies Source. Her collusion with King Boreas in imprisoning me here confirms my worst fears. She is planning something far greater than I could have anticipated. For this reason, and with a heavy heart, I must ask you, Source Hunter, to find out how far exactly Leandra has become entwined in the dark arts. I take no pleasure in the memory of that night. The thought of hurting anyone or anything is abhorrent to me. But in this case, I judged it necessary. If you've come this far, I trust you've learned that the Counselor was far from a humble civil servant. This doesn't excuse my behavior, but perhaps it can help to explain it. It's a sordid story, to be perfectly frank. Two sisters, a philanderous, treacherous wizard, death and mayhem. Are you sure you're interested in such things? The sparkle in your eye belies your better nature, Source Hunter. Now I know that it is your duty to get to the heart of this. And, in truth, the events of that night were but one part of a larger and much darker matter. A matter in which I'll dare to beg your assistance before we're through with one another. Now that terrible night. One night, as I slept, I had a sudden revelation. No dream, but a vision. My sister Leandra and my lover Zandalor. I didn't understand, but I recognized their location. Syceel's King Crab Inn. I arrived and looked through their window, but inside, everything was wrong. Leandra had fled, and Counselor Jake stood over the wizard, a knife in his hand and hate in his eyes. As I watched, he drove the dagger deep into Zandalor's heart, and I was too late to stop him. In that moment, I broke. I saw before me not a man, not even a beast, but evil incarnate. And I used Source to slay him. On the floor lay Zandalor. In my hands, I held Jake's life force. I had sworn never to use Source, but I couldn't walk away. And so I did the unthinkable. I used the Counselor's life to save Zandalor's. He was alive, but only just. betrayal, murder, Source. We were all of us guilty now. If you were any other Source Hunter, I suppose you'd strike me down where I stand after that terrible admission. Fortunately for us both, you are no other Source Hunter. I hate to extend my own invitation, Source Hunter, but I believe I ought to accompany you to Zigzax's hideout. Presumptuous, yes, but I'd recognize the imp's essence just about anywhere. Both he and you must learn more about the darkness that has extended itself into our dearest Rivellon. And I believe I know where we must begin. Ah, but unless that's a bear flailing through the threads of time, I do believe Master Zigzax is on his way. Make way, Source Hunter, landing in 3, 2...
We have much to discuss. Come one and all to the end of time. A spot of something warm and the soft glow of the tapestry ought to do us all a bit of good, There you are, Ikara. Now, if we're done playing hide and seek, let's not waste a jot more time. Oh, I just can't wait to pick your every synapse.
After you, Master Zigzax.
We've solved the murder and caught the culprit, yet this case feels anything but closed.
Cut her down for mistake, but she sure has fewer harms than I expected.
Oh, if only Jarrett were here to meet her. He would have loved to lay eyes on the White Witch of so many legends.
There's more to this crime than simple fact. Killing a killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent, after all.
We'll have to learn more before we can assess Ikara's true guilt in this matter. Fortunately, she seems quite eager to tell us more about this entire dark affair.
You and Zandalor have always been close, Ahu. Pray tell, did you know anything about his affair at the King Crown?
Come now. Do you really think he'd let me in on it in advance if he'd been planning an
On the
affair with
men.
your sister? There is magic to this place, isn't there?
What's the word, Source Hunter? Ha! Is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time. Well, suddenly your association with Master Zigzax makes sense. Well, I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven among such allies. I believe the answer to that begins centuries ago, when your order was still cutting down so-called dark magicians by the dozens. Ours was a family of born sorcerers, you see. It was in our blood to interact with Source, but our parents were determined to curb the power within us. Still, their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters. I am. But there is more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source isn't only blood and madness. It's like lightning, an exquisite current of great power. We sorcerers are like metal steeples, Source is drawn to us and it flows through us. But what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. The power drunk through history have abused it, and all the world's sorcerers have borne terrible consequences. Tell me, Source Hunter, in all your hours studying the arcane arts, did your great masters ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil? Did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were weak and gentle? That we could be simple forest folk healing the sick and frozen each winter? No. I doubt also that they'd mention that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to inch all of Rivellon toward oblivion. No. No, that would be going too far, and eschewing my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order. But it was I who sparked all of this. They came on a quiet morning. My mother was wild with fright and commanded me to hide myself and Leandra outside, among the trees. Even at that young age, we knew not to question her. We climbed high into the branches of a nearby tree, and before we could look away, our parents were cut down without ceremony before our door. The Source Hunters sauntered away, wiping their blades with pride. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job well done. From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, our fear and our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. Our souls became forged together, our bond unbreakable. We would survive. Thrive, even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. Our soul forge meant that if one of us were to die, the other would instantly perish too. We kept one another close. Leandra's capacity was enormous. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with terrible regularity. I did my best to guide her, but she fast outgrew my admonitions. My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence, witches among the trees when Zandalor came. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered. Their days were spent on charms, hexes, and the like. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and Zandalor and I would settle into our quiet tasks, side by side. We were a content trio, the 3 of us, but base impulse would undo us. As you know, Leandra and I were soul-forged. This offered us a window into one another's souls. I knew Leandra had developed feelings for Zandalor, and she knew I had too. But it was me to whom he confessed his love. Those quiet evenings together had captured his heart, as they had mine. Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled, without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection to her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day. We've a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we'll have to get through it if we wish to find her. But first, we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called Immaculates does she have in her palm, and to what end is she directing them? Your journey must begin in the Lacula mines, where she has been accumulating materials and manpower for a purpose as yet unknown. The way will be dangerous. Her allies are growing more powerful and numerous by the minute, but we must discover exactly what Leandra is planning and why. A soul forge comes with its own benefits, Source Hunter. Though our connection has weakened, I still see the occasional vision of Leandra's doings, the pangs of her deepest felt emotions, and flashes of her triumphs. One vision. I had thought it was only a nightmare, but now I see it was something much worse. Leandra is collecting materials, precisely what, I cannot say, and is hard at work shaping them into something sinister. Her frustrations are rivaled only by her mirth. I can see she's growing closer and closer to achieving something dire. You must make your way deep into the mines to see exactly what she's planning. I believe that our soul forge has been damaged. By what? I can only guess. The fraying of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow she truly believes will never end. What she needs is a hand. My hand, out of this abyss. If our soul forge is repaired, I am certain she'll cease blazing this path of destruction. I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. With our soul forge in such tatters, I believe Leandra is adrift in the not at all inconsiderable sorrows of our lives. What's more, I sense a terrible force bearing down upon the bond between us. It is hungry, and it consumes ever more of Leandra's mind and soul. I cannot say exactly what this force might be, but I'm certain it's both driving me out and driving Leandra on. If I could only repair the forge, I'm certain she'd put a stop to this madness. The way may be treacherous, but you must get inside. I fear my sister is doing something dreadful so far from the light of day.
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter. Ah, yes, that was a small fib on my part, I'm afraid. Zandalore is known as the Keeper of the Source, after all. And I didn't know how Source Hunters would react to my association with such a colorful character. But certainly. What would you like to know? Oh, I am but a my tongue, you see, to my great regret. Oh, but that's not such match to be out and... But of course it's... Oh, I'm my own wizard, you know. By all means. I can't say... And what might those be? What? A mere flea bag won the heart of that exquisite black beauty? I knew I should have acted sooner. And now I've let her slip through my claws. What? Why are you looking at me like that? She's certainly more beautiful than any human lady I've ever seen. Besides, it's easier to raise kittens than kids, I can tell you that.
How might I serve our mission? Threads I weave and tales I see, all will I tell. In the ethereal threads of eternity, the drift of except it...
Good to see you on the shelter plane. A home away from home, is it not? Of all the wicked things, the one substance that can stand in the way of the void, and she's turning it into vessels of blight. You'll have to redouble your efforts, my friend. Our heroes have chosen fine vessels for their return. Mere humans, I'd have said but a little while ago, and yet they've managed to bring us together across space and time.
Space, time, and a frigid prison wasteland.
Now that you mention it, what did you do to Leandra to earn her icy ire, Ikara?
Leandra and I have had our differences, but she herself would never have sent me to that frozen hell. Something or someone has taken hold of her. I'm sure of it.
a salutoin, Hunter. What can I do for you? Do a salutoin, Hunter. What can I do for you?
Back on my feet.
Get out of my way!
Quick-tempered and fleet-footed.
Drink of divinity!
Oh, I needed that.
Salve of the Seven.
champion! As good as a new penny.
Bless the Seven. I am restored. I am restored! Fury of the flames!
Surrender now!
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
Thorns in your eyes!
Wrath of the Magi!
Battering ram!
Your bones snap like twigs. I've had better fights with my food.
Face the unending darkness.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends?
Out of the way, human scum! Your stink is making my eyes sting! I wouldn't make an enemy of Kadraska's pigskin unless you fancy being swarmed by the legions of eight-legged friends I have at my beck and call. If you're not interested in purchasing the finest goblin wares in Rivellon, I'd prefer to go somewhere your stench can't insult me. It's strange, pigskin, how one so rank and stupid as yourself has... If you're not but to answer your idiotic query, yes, a proud goblin am I, and as such I've got the most well-crafted equipment to sell to undeserving rat-bellies such as yourself. This particular stock is fresh from the anvil of the goblin blacksmith from our village across the plains here. I'd suggest buying from me now, Monkey Face, for I doubt you'll make through the storm and the spiders with all your delicate parts in place.
My, oh my. You can speak! Oh dear. Oh gracious. Oh, Ralphie. This is your luckiest day of days. Psst. Friend, you must help me. Oh goodness. Oh dear, I beg you. This goblin you see before me, my so-called master, is a cruel and ruthless beast. This may be my only chance to seek help, so I won't waste a moment. Friend, if you have a shred of decency in your bones, you must kill this goblin. Please, I must be free. And if you'll help me, I'll help you. I know all there is to know about the goblins of Luculla, and I know their greatest weakness too. A secret I'll happily share once I'm free from this goblin's claws. Please, kill the brute. A thousand thanks to you, friend. Start with his eyes, I say.
My blood boils!
Drink of Divinity!
As good as a new penny.
A thousand...
Out of the way!
A thousand...
Talisman, protect me. Absolution!
Keep up!
Shields, heads, hearts!
As good as a new penny.
Soaking spray!
Soak to the skin!
Frenzy of the dragon!
Into the fray once more.
Glacial grasp! Fast track!
before I put you down!
What do you think, Source Hunter? Shall I start shredding from the top or the bottom?
Breaking bones!
Oh, how I'll sing of your entrails.
Ironclad and fleet of foot, I'm invincible.
Crippling blow!
Death is its own deliverance.
Crippling blow!
1,000 thanks to you, friend. Start with his eyes, I say.
What do you think you are doing? What do you think you are doing? We'll have none of...
I'm too fast for the likes of you.
Cold hands, cold heart. A man-at-arms is always intense.
May I be valiant as the line of summer.
Whirling blows!
Lucky find!
Ooh!
Hunt abundance.
Not even worth the rummaging.
Oh, hum.
Sir, no, sir.
Oh, what now? So, let me get this straight. There are insidious by Belagar's Anyway, be these truths, half-truths, or outright lies, it seems to me your business in Seal is concluded. Don't let the undead hit you on the way out.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veg. Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Be the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff. Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman
This
there.
town has seen better days, but despite it all, we'll always have the sea.
Silver arrows. Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Heavenly herring. Delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap dog each.
Be the big cheese on your block with a wheel
Sorry,
of the
but I haven't the time for chatter. These days, a moment's inattention is all a thief needs to snatch my livelihood out from under me.
cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
As good as a new
Watch the
penny.
undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Bless the seven, I am restored.
Your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice and stir and churn.
Sorry, but I haven't the time for chatter. These days, a moment's inattention is all a thief needs to snatch my livelihood out from under me.
Many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Sorry, but I haven't the time for chatter. These days, a moment's inattention is all a thief needs to snatch my livelihood out from under me.
Yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Has more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
I'm straight, I'm true. Harry's by the dozens.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse has more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Cheese? The excuse has more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. The excuse has more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman there.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
be the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Ooh, the pain. If only, my friend, if only. What was it they said about Silverglen? Blood magic or some such abracadabra.
Really? What do you say, your knightship? Will you escort us to Silverglen? I'm glad you've agreed Alfie needs to be saved before we can depart. Please leave no stone unturned in your search for a concoction that will heal his wounds. What do you say, your knightship? I'm glad you've agreed Alfie needs...
If we make it to Silverglen, I swear I do hope you can heal dear Alfie.
Please don't leave us to our own devices, your knightship. Heed our call for... What do you say, your knightship? I'm glad you've agreed... What do you say, your knight? Oh, it would be a godsend indeed if poor old Alfie... Oh, we'll rescue those devils. Oh, it was not but a... I'm glad you've agreed.
Ooh, the pain. I have no idea. If only, my...
If we make it to my husband Bjorn's... What is there left to say? Oh, I do hope...
Potent heat.
Someone seems to be enjoying the afternoon sun.
I'll bet we can slip by while his back is turned. Better to avoid a conflict now than to have to face every goblin from here to the line.
Onslaught from afar!
Haste of the hurricane! into the fray once more.
charges me. Fortune favors the bold.
Nothing but rubbish.
It's awfully boring in here without the proper magic. In its right form, things really
Unbelievable. I like this game.
Let us make them pay, friends.
Beat them all in a blow! Touch of frost!
Assaults from the air!
This arrow seeks more than one target.
Cornered! Let's see you try to wriggle free. My friend!
See the white light. As good as a new penny.
Chaos grips my hands today.
My heart beats too slowly to sustain me.
Wherever you go, there I am.